What is up, everybody? Welcome to Geeks of the Round. I'm your executive producer, DeAno Jackson. We are, of course, here for our Walking Dead discussion. Episode 513 is this is a pretty cool episode. I can't wait to start talking about this one. We have a large panel here today, so let's get through everyone quickly so we can get going. First off, of course, starting off with our associate host, Todd Grindle. What did you think of this episode, Todd?
A is for awesome.
That's not according to your lower authority. Senior Community Manager Knuckles Goldberg, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was a great episode. There was a lot going on, and but I think it worked out really well.
Oh yeah, I would certainly have to agree. Charles, how about you? What did you think of this one?
I actually thought it was pretty damn awesome. So much stuff happened, and pretty much all of it was awesome. So yeah.
So awesome then.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, awesome. I don't know what else to say. It was just awesome.
Oh, that kind of says it all. Isaiah, how about you, man? What did you think of this one?
No, I had some problems with some characters. Overall, I liked the episode because it was like a stand-up comedy. Because I just laughed throughout the whole damn episode so much that I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at the episode because it was so funny as hell. I was playing later.
All right, Lurad, what did you think of this one?
I enjoyed it very much, and don't leave your girl around Rick because Rick is a crook.
I know, right? He's a player.
Last and most certainly not least, Reggie, what did you think of this one?
Relieved. I haven't been on these last few discussions, but so far this second half of the season, I've been pretty kind of blah. I mean, almost
shitty.
to the point where I'm like,
shitty.
almost to the point where I've almost kind of wanted to stop watching. It was starting to get rough for me. So I was relieved to that it kind of is picking back up and looks like some good stuff's coming. So
hopefully.
Yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of episodes that for me were really hard to watch because it was just there's nothing happening. It's 40 minutes of nothing happening. It's this is ridiculous.
And also the good luck system too. Good luck system throughout the roof.
And it's the first thing I got to say about this episode is, goddamn, Carol.
I know, right? She was like Solid Snake for some odd reason because she had that sweater. It's think of Solid Snake with a box. You can't see him because he's a box. And she's invisible because she has a sweater on. Hey, that's a nice lady over there. But all come to find out, she's a serial killer. She's a mad, crazy Rambo lady. She's a Rambo lady. She's like Solid Snake, son.
Yeah. Solid Snake wore a old woman sweater.
Exactly. That was a box, son. He wore the box like a champ.
Well, this Carol is totally different from the comic book version of Carol.
Oh my god, way better.
I never even considered them the same character, just shared the name.
Well, they're definitely not the same characters. There's about a 10 to 20 year difference in two.
Oh, yeah.
One is young and the other's old. And don't let the sweet little old Carol fool you, because when she's in that sweater, she's an evil disguise.
During the whole thing that was going on last episode and then the episode before last night and then last night's episode, with what was going on with Carol being all nice and chipper and being friendly, it's really? You ain't fooling nobody, lady. What
do you mean she's not fooled? She's literally got everybody there fooled. What the fuck are you talking about?
Seriously, dude.
That's
she had me fooled for 1 second.
Oh no, I don't know how to use any guns. I had a handgun. I carried around a rifle, and but that's what the fuck do I know?
Right. Killed a kid. Took down Terminus. She took down Terminus too, by the way. The same woman took down Terminus.
It's going here, right?
Right, really, she's like G.I. Jane for God's sakes. In a good
took down Terminus with a bottle rocket. I am
just waiting for the one-arm push-up scene.
Forward to when the shit is going to hit the fan. I am definitely looking forward to that because I want to see the look on all these Alexandrians. I want to see the look on their faces when they see Carol just killing all kinds of people.
Yeah.
I want to see it happen.
Once they see because right now it's Carol the Cookie Lady, and in that case they would meet Carol the Terminator.
Right. No, Carol Rambo. She was a straight Rambo because she was threatening people. It was so cool.
Those are just people, it was kids. Like, I mean, that was just wow.
It was still good though. It was still great. Like, damn, she's that cold.
Oh yeah, it was a great scene. It was an absolutely fantastic scene. But it was just like, just seriously, just damn.
Hey, I felt bad for the Black Stallion.
I know, right? Because he was black. That's what happened. He was a black horse.
Yeah, that's a damn shame. Like, yeah, not even a black horse can survive on this show.
You can't be a black man or a black horse.
I did not think of that until just now.
He had no chance in hell.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there are so many black characters on the show right now that not even a horse is like, I mean, it's like that changes the ratio. So the horse just had to fucking go.
Well, it was only because they were going to get.
I got kicked from the hangout because
it would have been fine.
Internet. What'd you say, Reggie?
But I wanted to see something about.
Reggie, what were you saying?
Oh, I said the horse only died because he was about to join the group. If they wouldn't have been able to catch the horse, he would have been fine.
True.
That's the rule. You can only have one black male on Rick's group. That's the key.
Technically, they have two. They have Gabriel and they have
he doesn't count.
Gabriel isn't. No.
He doesn't count.
I forgot about Gabriel. Like, was he in this episode at all?
No one cares.
We won't see Gabriel again until next week.
He was in the coming attractions.
He's still not full in the group yet. That's why he's.
Well, he doesn't count because he's not black in my book. Like, no. Sorry.
I mean, because it seems like they accepted Noah as a full-fledged member of the group before they accepted Father Gabriel.
Well, that's different though, because he was actually a cool character. Well, depending on that situation.
Father Gabriel looks like Guatemalan or something.
Yeah, plus he was. No one gave a fuck. Seriously, who gives a fuck about this character? No one. I don't care. T-Dog is better than him. T-Dog is actually better than him.
Well, you stop bringing up T-Dog. T-Dog don't exist.
He does.
Hey, you gotta pour one out for T-Dog.
Exactly.
T-Dog doesn't exist. T-Dog ain't even in the comic. There's no character like a T-Dog, so T-Dog don't fucking exist.
But he's still better than that freaking Gabriel Pastor, whatever his fucking name is.
You always need somebody from God, so that's why they're going to keep Gabriel around.
God damn it.
They're going to keep Gabriel for the whole religious aspect, because even in this time of the zombie apocalypse, there's going to be people who are going to want to seek answers from a higher power.
Oh yeah, it's like
of course.
In this community, to me, is kind of the first time period where Father Gabriel could actually be useful, as being a religious leader for this community.
I see it now. Father Gabriel, why did the Lord strike us down with these roamers, walkers, etc.? Why are they killing us? Child, I have no clue. God can't answer everything.
No, here's a good answer for God. Like, hey, God, why do you keep killing all the black men who always enter Rick's group? Oh, they're not the herd. Wow, God, you're very racist. I know, right?
You know what? I am not going to touch that with a 500-foot pole.
But it's true, though. God's racist when he killed all the black men. Like, damn, dude. You got all these black people. You got the black ladies over here, but you killed the brothers off. Like, what's up, dude? What's up? He killed a black horse. He killed the black horse.
All right, somebody's got to chip on their shoulder.
Buttons! Why couldn't they let Buttons live?
It wasn't a female horse. It was a male horse. So yes, if you're a black stallion, you're a male horse.
You know what they could have done? They could have killed off Noah and Gabriel, bring in Buttons, and Buttons would be more interesting than the both of them.
Sadly, that would happen.
Come on, it's like, okay, now that I don't agree with. I honestly just don't think that we've had much of a chance for Father Gabriel's character to shine, because out there in the world of the zombie apocalypse, obviously he's useless. But here, I think it's going to be his time to shine.
I don't think so.
I've got some thoughts, but I'll save that for speculation time.
He's not that interesting.
Not yet.
No, trust me, he's not. He doesn't get interesting until never.
Trust you.
So,
yes. Never. Hey, look, I'm the guy
Isaiah,
I will never ever do that.
Isaiah,
you know I'm right, damn it.
Who is assuming now? Who is assuming now?
You are, Whedon. Okay, you are.
Can you please bring up your theories? about the wolves?
No, because I think I can't. I've been trying to figure out how to say any of that without offering major spoilers. Or I think my theory is so solid it's 100% right, and I just can't do it.
And also, come on, now, Todd agrees with me too. Father Gabe was a worse character.
Man.
Which is true.
They had to have hired somebody to clear out 36 miles of land for them.
Yeah.
And we seen proof of it last night when Daryl pointed out the W on the head.
Yeah. And plus, you can tell from Alexandria's group that they're very, very. They just seem so. No, that too, but it seems so relaxed around the zombie apocalypse. Like, should you guys be able to be more war and pretty much be more tense? I mean, you see those walls, yes, but.
That was exactly Sasha's problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is like,
I don't know who
that was
Sasha
another
is.
great scene. That was another great scene. Her freak out at the party.
It was okay.
Sasha's another made-up character that I don't like.
I don't know. She's just lucky. She's just lucky. Everybody in that town is all whatever, chill or whatever. Because
no, she's lucky because she's not
outbursts like that. She would have got slapped.
Well, lucky she's, but luckily she's not a black man. Okay, she's still alive.
I wish someone would try to. I wish someone would try to slap Sasha. That'd be funny. I just want to see.
That'd be really funny too. Like,
I wish somebody would.
You trying to smack me? Oh.
Bitch, I'm just trying to offer you some snacks. You need to chill the hell out.
Yeah, right. Calm the fuck down, Shane. You're acting like Shane now. Eat a Snickers. Eat a Snickers.
In Sasha's defense, I'm actually kind of in favor with how Sasha is acting, because I think everybody within the walls of the Alexandria safe zone are a sack of idiots. Because I mean, in a zombie apocalypse of any kind, doesn't matter if it's the Kirkman Walking Dead or the Romero various movies, whenever there is some sort of like sanctuary or community where they have all these walls up and it's a protected area, something will always go wrong. And so if something's going to go wrong with the Alexandria safe zone, and since they've been stuck within these walls since the start, as soon as they're forced to go out into the world, I guarantee you nearly 80% of them will be dead inside of 3
Yeah, they'll be dead, but at the same time, they're
because of how weak they are.
Them.
Yeah, but it's not fair to call them idiots. It's like just because I know that they haven't been out there amongst them, actually being a part of the zombie apocalypse. But I mean, come on, fuck off. If you telling me if you had a choice, it's just like if you had like an actual choice, like in the beginning of this, it's like would you have been in Alexandria, or would you be out there struggling to survive and worried about being eaten by zombies
every second?
every fucking day?
I would take Alexandria.
It's like, no, fuck that. I would take suburbia over the zombie apocalypse any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Also,
I know, but they need to prepare. They need to prepare for the possibility where they will be forced to go out into that world. But the way that those scouts were acting, they're going to get themselves killed, or worse, the rest of the people in the community killed. They have no idea what it's like out there.
Charles, they were paying somebody to protect them. It's obvious.
Right. It's so obvious.
We know these Dinwits can't do shit for themselves. It's already been
right.
They're paying somebody, and now they're going to come for that next payment, and they're going to deny them their payment, and it's going to force Rick and Crew's hand. Watch.
Right.
That's what's going to most likely end up happening. That's why
you're talking about the wolves.
I am reading
the whole Team Rick.
Okay, here's one more thing.
Poor Noah's family got burnt to death because them fuckers in that community didn't pay their rations.
That's all what I'm hoping has happened. But I was just reading something that posed a different theory that about. I think Isaiah might have mentioned this a few years ago about the wolves actually being the scavengers and them taking us a little slower to get to the whole ration.
Yeah, also,
I thought we already met the scavengers, the guys that actually tried to rape Carl last season.
Or was that what they were called?
No, they're just bandits. They're just
they weren't called the scavengers, but we thought they were the scavengers.
They were called anything. It's like
they weren't called anything.
Kind of
they were just bandits. Assholes, really.
Yeah.
But again,
just called a bunch of country bumpkins walking the streets.
Right. Also, let me make this one thing clear about Alexandria. Alexandria in the whole Walking Dead.
Call them the Deliverance.
Thank you. Alexandria is pretty much the most smartest community in the world itself, in the Walking Dead universe, because they have a community. They have a lot of things that all these other groups are striving, trying to be. Like, look at Woodbury. Look at the prison. They don't have that type of facility and or type of materials to actually survive for a long period of time. if you look at because they know how to build more houses. They know if they get more people in, they can build more houses. They can do everything else they want to because they got the necessary resources and materials. The prison and Woodbury never had the type of depth of keep their community alive enough. This is why Alexander is pretty much the most smarter community out there, in my book.
Well, it's like, I mean, they certainly have built a better community than anything else that we've seen than Woodbury and whatnot. I agree with Charles to a point though, because the thing is, like all these other communities, like I mean Woodbury and such, at least they had a full understanding of the dangers that were out there. Alexandria, for the most part, does not. So yeah, it is a really good thing for them that Rick and his crew showed up because they needed to have people around that have been out in that, and that's something that even DeAno brought up because she's right. They do need them, and that's why they need them because they know what it's like outside those walls. And that's an experience that nobody else in the Alexandria safe zone has. And it's going to make the community better for it. Well, I mean, in a perfect world, it would make the community better for it, but it's a TV show, so all sorts of shit is going to go down, obviously.
Well, it's like what Rick was saying about, it's not the zombies, it's it's the other people and what they can take from you. And in Alexandria, they haven't had to deal with that, and maybe something came up or whatever, and now Rick's group shows up, and it's like, oh well, these people can protect us from those other people, so that's why they want them. That's why they want him in there, and that's why they want Rick to be. They hear about all this badass stuff about Rick, and they're like, oh well, yeah, let's make Rick the sheriff, and somebody starts
for obvious reasons too.
Rick, so now we don't have to turn into the crazy psycho types. We just brought in a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
made a boogeyman, really.
But y'all know. An interesting experience that I had watching this episode is particularly for the party scene and all the things that were going on at the party. I had to keep reminding myself that I was watching The Walking Dead because this was just so far outside of everything else The Walking Dead has been. No, it's not a matter of comfort zone. It's just this was so far outside of what The Walking Dead has been, struggling to survive, and seeing a bunch of dirty people, struggling, body strap and whatnot. It's like, I mean, it's like it. I was like, it reminded me of a primetime soap opera. It's like this particular scene.
Right, and I didn't like that scene, which I liked the most. That party was very interesting. It was more detailed than the comic book one because the comic book had a party, but it wasn't like, oh. But in the show, it was more detailed. It was more fleshed out, and it showed me that there was a live living people living in this community, not just gossip people, just real live people trying to live their life. So this was a really awesome scene, though. Really, really awesome.
Isaiah, what's your favorite dish so I can make it for you?
Oh man, I was like, I would like to have shut the hell up. You don't know what I like, lady, because I'm gonna freak out and show everyone my bad attitude.
It's like, fuck that. It's like if someone offered to make me my favorite dish, it's like, yes, I will take a medium rare prime rib and a baked potato.
I know, right? It's like
with a side of asparagus.
Right. It's like that's a calling card of good shit right there. Like what?
So make rice.
I don't know why she freaked out over that.
If that can be hooked up in a zombie apocalypse, sign me the fuck up.
Same here. Like, sign me up, homie. Sign me up.
Fuck. I'm sitting here talking about that now. I made myself hungry. Shit.
I got me some food over here, so I'm good.
I literally just ate a bucket full of pasta and meatballs.
Oh, consider me officially jealous.
I had some pasta too.
Can I mention something actually before we drift too far from what somebody had just said about
No, shut the fuck up. I mean, go ahead.
Teaching them about the danger of the people.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be bullshit because I was using the Alexandria virtual tour on the AMC.com, and I realized that everything outside of there, even all the way down further on the wall, it's all been firebombed in the same way Noah's community has. So, like, I don't know, like, why would it stop right at the gate? Wouldn't that mean, like, that they've had some sort of incident so far with outside people?
Well, since you kind of mentioned that and the fact that they have all those guns and stuff, that would kind of lead to them having some sort of, responsibility of they didn't just, if they've been held up in their little, comfort zone all this time, you don't amass all those weapons and stuff like that without somebody.
Because how did he find bullets too? How did he find more ammo?
Oh,
for
that
all those
does bother
guns
me,
they had?
Sasha. All
They've been
the
taking them off
shooting
the
does bother me
dead
a little
people.
bit.
It does. How
Yes,
so?
He's a total dick to the people's family. I mean, they're probably all dead or whatever, but damn.
I know.
All the things you could be shooting at, you gotta shoot at some people's pictures.
That did piss me off a little bit. Like, really? I told Lou Rod this like in the back channel before. Like, that was priceless items. And Lou Rod made a good point. Like, who's gonna care? Which is true, but you think in the more big respect of things, because pictures like that, like family pictures of any type, are very, very priceless. And shooting at them, wasting bullets on that type of shit is stupid. It's just stupid.
The wasting bullets was stupid, but the fact of the matter, she shot of family photos that no one's gonna give a fuck because that family is dead. So
Well,
they're
she's trying to
not
work this
priceless
out.
to anyone. They might be priceless to you, which is great because you have such sentimental value for shit like that. Me, I don't give a fuck. Fire away!
But she was tracking walkers though. That was the thing that got me aggravated. Like, seriously? So you want to shoot at walkers? Why don't you just go out and start looking for walkers instead of shoot people's like family photos? Matter of fact, just start yelling, like, "Hey, dinner time! Dinner time!" There you go.
But maybe she wanted to get bitten. You know, the bitch was going crazy yesterday.
That's true.
I mean,
Too.
like I said, she don't even fucking exist. Why is she here?
I don't know.
Tyrese never
I don't
had a
know why.
fucking sister.
Maybe she did. Maybe he did, and she died before she showed up in the.
He never did.
To
He
me,
never
it's
had a
irrelevant.
sister.
I like
He
Sasha.
had a daughter named Julie, and Julie had a boyfriend named Chris. But no, we get fucking.
Maybe she did die. Maybe in the comic books alternate universe, Tyrese's sister died as a kid or whatever, and Tyrese ended up having his own kids after his football career. Maybe in this one, Tyrese was a bitch and he never played football, and did he play football?
Oh shit, we got that Tyrese already.
Or maybe this is a AMC TV show, and then there's a comic book that is a totally different thing. It just
Exactly.
happens to have some similarities, but is not a freaking guidebook Bible of how the show is supposed to be run.
Yeah.
And I love all the changes. And in defense of Sasha, I really love how they made Tyrese a bitch compared to who he was in the comics. And Sasha is now the female counterpoint. Yeah, she might have a gun instead of a hammer. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen.
She's Andrea.
I just see her as a badass, like her brother was in the comic. So I like.
Yeah, it's like
I don't-
right now, it's like she
I
just
won't say
has
her-
shit to get over.
I won't say her brother. I'll say Andrew because she's a good shot, which is true. Like how Andrew was the best shot in the comic books, they're trying to transfer that over to Sasha, which is a good thing too.
I
Give
was
it like a
thinking
more
that,
greater
too.
purpose. And also, so that's one thing of Tyrese. I think of Andrea, a good Andrea character, which is Sasha. And so
Well, if that's
I actually
the
like
case, Sasha
Yeah.
better get with an old man and have some old man loving.
Give her some time.
Here's
Okay,
old
nice
man Withers.
disclosure.
Old man
So
Withers.
far, I have not liked most of the changes they did with the show and the comic, and I've only read up to volume.
Only the prison. The only thing I can say I don't like is some of the prison. Is some
It
prison
looks like
stuff.
somebody else is the purist and not me this time. Haha.
Yeah, that is
Weird
weird.
sucks.
Because normally, like, this is an argument that you would be making, Charles, because because whenever something changes from how it's supposed to be in like the comic book or the original or whatnot, usually you're the one over here whining like you got sand in your clit. But
Right. It's like
now
remember that
it's
Thor?
Lou Rod is the new Charles.
Well, I'm sorry, but there were
I
certain
read this and it ruined his life.
that were better on the comic than they did in the show. I would have loved for them to tackle Carl killing Shane instead of Rick doing it.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
but
also-
you got Carl and the mother. Like I don't know. For alternate I love every change except for some prison stuffs.
Okay, here's all fairness to Lou Rod and Whedon as well. They want something that's almost close to the comic book, but not too close, which is I understand. But again, like DeAno said, it's a show. Dude. Anyways, it's a TV show. You gotta make it work for everyone else. So I understand completely. However, when it comes to Whedon, when he bitch about something, it's always classic. When it's first time we talk about Thor, the female Thor, he's like, "What the fuck? Thor's supposed to be a man, not a woman."
I got used to that. I got used to that, okay? But with Walking Dead, I'm actually okay with most changes because I've only read the first 3 volumes of the comic book.
And imagine
So,
if you read all the comic books.
I'm fine with changes in me. Is like, I mean, since we're having this conversation, it's like I'm gonna say that I am perfectly okay with changes because obviously it's like when you're going from one medium to another, there's gonna have to be certain changes. Like as long as the changes make sense and are good for the story, then most cases I'm cool with it. I only get irritated when they take a perfectly good story and they completely fuck it up. Like what's a good example of that?
Like Michonne and the Governor?
No, it's like not in this. I don't know enough of the Walking Dead story to comment on that, but I was thinking like in other mediums. I was thinking specifically this specific example of the Resident Evil movies, which are fucking horrific. They're horrible, and they don't follow the storyline of what actually happened in Resident Evil at all. Like they're like not even a little. It's like, I mean, the last couple of ones is like I didn't even bother seeing. The first one was actually pretty good. I did.
It was okay.
The first one.
No, it was pretty awful, but
it was okay. It was okay. It's like I'm not
3D.
I'm not saying I'm gonna put it on the list of my favorite video game movies or anything like that. But it didn't suck as much as I thought it would. The other movies in the series, they sucked exactly as much as I thought they would. Because they changed, they completely changed the actual storyline. So it's like when that shit happens, I get pissed off. But little change here, little change there. It's like coming back to The Walking Dead now. Little change here, little change there doesn't bother me. It's like I actually like it because even for those of you that read the comics and are current with the comics, that even y'all don't know exactly what's going to happen. It's like this show is still capable of surprising even you, and I think that's a good thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say before, because Lou, imagine if you had read all the comics beforehand, because I think before season 2 even aired, I was all the way. I was already in Alexandria, I'm pretty sure.
Same here, I was too.
And it's been great. The show has been great because it's always had me on the edge of my seat. I never know what's going to. I don't even look at the two as the same. They are so far apart. Like I was saying to you the other day, you can't quantify beyond season 1. You can't really pinpoint volumes to seasons in the show.
Oh yeah, volume 1 book and season 1 story was totally different. We went to a base, never even mentioned in the comics.
Yeah, and I think the show is better for that. It's like I think if the show was following the comic book exactly, then honestly, what's the point of the show? It's like, I mean, all they're doing is just doing the exact literal same thing.
Yeah, and I
watch that.
You lose all the tension. It's like with Gotham. That show,
no one cares about Gotham.
You know where everybody's going to end up, so it's like there's no tension. So,
exactly.
See, look, change is great. But if you're going to bring in the characters, at least make them true to who they were in the comic. Whether they died throughout the story, fine. You could kill them later on in the story, which is great. But, dude, Tyrese is a total pusscake compared to his counterpart in the comic.
Okay, now that I'll agree with. It's like I do have an issue when they make drastic changes of character that don't make any sense. Like, I mean, if you're going to pull someone from the source material, actually use that character.
Like Andrew.
Just keep him true to his form. I mean, yeah, we got glimpses of Tyrese from the comic book. When he did the Tyrese rage, when he's out there killing shit. But other than that, he was not the same.
Tyrese. You made him sound like the Incredible Hulk.
But also, they screwed up Andrew.
Tyrese smash!
I mean, I got over the changes anyways, but it was Andrew that made me hurt the most because I like Andrew in the comics. I thought Andrew was gonna be good on the show, but then it to be a whore. Like, good lord, she slept with all the bad guys. Jeez, you're worse than
I guess she's taking place of Michonne because I've yet to see Michonne touch a man, and in the comic book, she's a slut.
That's true too. That's so true.
She's not a slut in the comic. She just tries a few options.
Well, speaking of trying a few options, it looks like Rick is trying an option that might not be available to him.
Sure.
Hey, can we
Oh,
talk
Rick-
about that? That kind of
He can
made me
remake
want to throw up all of that.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's like,
available.
it's like he's trying to be the new Shane.
Oh no, it's available. You see how much she hates her husband?
Oh, no, yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's like
And plus, let's be honest here. It's
definitely
Rick.
interesting. It's like, I mean, there's no question about that. It's like we've noticed that from the very, very first scene we saw them together.
Yeah.
But,
And this is the funny thing too. I love that the show actually is following parts of the comics of Rick's new quote unquote new friend, because this did happen too. But this is going to be more interesting because we're going to get more explore avenues of these two characters. And also, let's be honest here. Rick is a player when he starts fighting off zombies, and he can get any woman. He wants the booty.
I don't know if he looks like a player. He looks more like a fucking lunatic right now.
Hey, that's the same difference too. Hey, lunatics get all the cake, man. Get all the cake. They do.
Yes, wheeled to them by the nurse in the mental asylum. They get all the cake.
Yes, they do.
Cake.
The cake is a lie.
But also, one more thing before DeAno goes into the story itself. This is actually going to go into The Walking Dead. Is that Daryl and Aaron had a really great scene together. Not after Buttons, but it was like when he invited him to his house. It was really good. And how it changed Daryl. Like he said, I want my gun. No. We just make this work. Make this work. That was so interesting. It was very impactful.
You know,
How badly were they toying with the audience based on the whole Daryl thing, and when Kirkman announced it's not?
you just combined the words "gay" and Daryl, didn't you?
It got a rhyme too. Daryl.
Daryl was enjoying that spaghetti. Oh, you didn't tell him it? I was thinking, oh, we want you to join us, man.
Right. It's like, damn, dude.
Spaghetti like it never happened before. I was like, I was trying to jump up. Actually, though, it's like, I mean, according to a lot of my Italian friends, like, I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, the way he was eating spaghetti shows actually huge respect.
Yeah, that is true.
But like, also, this is a very small tidbit of Aaron's character that he didn't really go to the party because, let's be honest, like he's gay, openly gay that is, and some of them, I think half of them don't really accept him for who he is. So they didn't really say it, but I kind of think.
Dude, let's be real. He was courting Daryl with his spaghetti and motorcycle. He has a hidden
His
agenda.
boyfriend right there.
Huh?
You know what? One thing came to mind during the whole thing, and I can't believe it popped up in there. Threesome.
Of course, it's like, hey, threesome. Come on now, you get spaghetti and a motorcycle? It's like, come on, dude, come on, threesome. Get threesome and get that.
Maybe that's what everybody's about over there. Like,
Aaron
Maybe
has
he
a
just
thing
wants
for
him to
dirty,
step
man.
in while he has bad ankle.
They better cough up a whole lot more ditties to go down that highway.
Remember, look, hey, they
but the
bonded
shock is
during the Buttons scene. When they were
What?
going after Buttons, they were bonding together.
Yeah, it was actually very interesting. Like, I mean, I loved all those scenes between Aaron and Daryl. It brought Daryl back around to actually giving this thing a try. To actually putting in an honest attempt to be a part of this community. Is like, I mean, and Aaron even saw in him, and he mentioned this, that he had to be, outside the walls. He had to be doing this thing because without that, it's like it's so much a part of who Daryl is. Like, he's out there and he's killing zombies and he's hunting and whatnot. Suburbia is not going to work for him. It's like he can't just do that. So I think it was absolutely brilliant to have him, be the new recruiter, to be mostly out there and on the road and finding more people, because that's his comfort zone. Right. I mean, it's like, I mean, what job would they give him in Alexandria? That would say, Daryl, what could they do? I mean, last week I know I was joking about town drunk, but that'd be about the extent of it, because well, what else is it going to do within those walls?
Picking and fiddling.
That uses his skill set that he would feel comfortable with. It's not like he's going to have Daryl Dixon, the postman.
As soon as Aaron brought Daryl into that garage, as soon as Aaron brought Daryl into the garage and showed him all that stuff, I was like, oh, okay, he could become the town mechanic to keep all their vehicles.
That'd be cool too. That'd be cool.
Okay. You know what? Fair enough.
Or
and we'll never find out what.
But yeah. We'll find out.
It's like, wait a second. It's like, I mean, what the fuck is going on? It's like, Isaiah, did you like trade places with Charles or something like that? It's like, because traditionally, Isaiah, you have the really shitty internet, but like your internet is actually really good. It's like it's been good for a while. Like you're not pixelated, man. Meanwhile, Charles, he's dropped out of this show like fucking 3 times.
Well, there's a reason, folks. There's a good reason.
Why couldn't y'all not both have solid internet at the same time?
He lives like 2 hours north of me, a completely different internet service provider.
But to Isaiah's point right now, he's using Sprint 4G LTE wireless internet.
Yeah.
He's using his daddy's cell phone for a hotspot.
Look at you getting all fancy and shit, Isaiah.
Yeah, better be fancy, this motherfucker. But come on now, I'm Isaiah. Isaiah Logic. Isaiah's zone.
Yeah, but it's like I was actually going to bring this up earlier, but it's like Isaiah. I can't believe I'm actually going to ask this because it means that I care. But you're not wearing your sunglasses.
Hey, you guys said no sunglasses. Okay, I just bring out this sunglasses.
I didn't say no sunglasses.
I said no sunglasses. Them shit's
You've
got
been
holes.
saying no sunglasses ever since you started wearing sunglasses, and then now you listen?
Yeah, now I listen. Isn't that a miracle for you guys? Stop bitching about
Isaiah,
it.
you did forget one thing today. You forgot the Kango, man. The Kango.
Well, I can't find that shit right now, so I'm gonna use the best thing I can do: my own glasses. My glasses, though.
Okay, well, there's got to be. It's like I feel like we're doing this whole thing wrong. There's got to be at least one black dude here wearing sunglasses, so it's not going to be you. I'll do it myself. How's that? All right. Because for me, it's like it's very confusing now. It's like how are people supposed to tell us apart?
Oh God.
What I really liked in this episode is just seeing the different paths that everyone's taken to kind of become accustomed to doing things in this community and some of the hardships that come along with that process. I mean, Sasha is still going through a little bit too much stuff to really get onto this.
Right.
But it's kind of cool seeing, Carl being able to, do a weird
Hell
thing.
yeah, Carl
Actually be a
activated real
teenager.
quick.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Carl over there laughing and shit with the other teenage boys.
Yeah, I was actually I was happy about that. I love that scene a lot because he actually is he's getting his own life. He's trying to be normal again. So I like that scene a lot. I really did.
Yeah, so do I. It's like, man, he's actually being able to be a teenage boy instead of, just having to worry about how to survive on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's kind of going to be kind of cool. And so it's going to be even more interesting for me when inevitably things fall apart and they're going to be put back into life and death situations. Like, I mean, because before that was his life. And he was accustomed to that. He was fine with it. But now that he's gotten used to, or at least is in the process of getting used to being a normal teenage boy and having normal teenage boy problems, to be thrust back into that whole, struggling and fighting to stay alive against a threat. I think that's going to be interesting. I gotta say, Carl, in general, as a character, has come a hell of a long way. Like, you guys know how much I hated Carl. For
I remember that too. I hated
the
Carl
first
too.
2 seasons entirely.
I hated him too. Yeah.
But he's actually coming to his own, and it was never anything against the actor. I just didn't like the character. But now it's like the character has evolved. It's like I think the massive time jump they did. I think early on was that season 2?
Season 3.
Yeah, okay, season 3, they did that time jump. Yeah, you're right, because that was when Michonne was introduced as well. But it's like that massive time jump helped out a lot in his character, and his character has done nothing but evolve since then.
Yeah, he's like the character in comic books, which is great. And actually, they're both pretty much the best characters in the show, if you look at it like in a good way. Like Carl, he's an interesting character who always develops his own personality. In the comic books, it's the same thing as well. So I can't wait for those great moments for Carl to be even more badass, and also he's gonna take another loss. I can't tell you what it is, folks. That's the spoiler, but I can't. I keep it as it is.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Guess what time it is? Well, speculation time. It's that time again. We're gonna make up a bunch of random shit.
Oh, sucky now.
Now, Reggie's like, I know it's like, I want Reggie to go first. Reggie was the first one that actually mentioned that he had a wild speculation. So Go with it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that we're gonna, by finale time, it's gonna be the group against the group. There's gonna be, I guess previously there was talk about somebody's gonna go bad or whatever. Asian guy now I can't. What's his fucking name?
Glenn. It's Korean, by the way.
Korean, Asian, Korean, whatever. Send your letters.
South
There
Korea.
was initially, I guess there was a thought that Glenn's gonna become Negan or whatever, that whole whatever thing. I think it's gonna be multiple people in the group. Maybe even I'm even willing to go as like half the group changes over, and at some point we'll see people of Rick's group going against other people of Rick's group. I think that at some point Daryl will have to kill Carol, or vice versa. I think that Mr. Reverend Man, he's going to step up and be badass at some point, and he's gonna start mowing people down. Yeah, the big one I think is either Carol or Daryl or both are gonna go bye at some point, and I was kind of leaning towards even Rick becoming one of the big bads or the big bad of this whole turning thing. But I know they're never gonna touch Rick, and probably won't touch Daryl. I still believe in the hope that somebody will grow some balls and mess with the core group and just really make everybody go berserk. So that's what I got.
I have some speculation about that blonde, the hairstylist's husband. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Pete. I guess it's pretty obvious at this point that he's an abusive prick, very controlling. Because I don't know if he's actually abusive, but I can definitely tell that he's very controlling, and the abusive and controlling goes hand in hand.
I didn't see any of that.
But
it was inferred from the porch stick moment, but it wasn't. I don't see that they did any controlling stuff.
I see he likes Rick. He likes Rick to come over.
I saw it in this episode. Is that when he said, let me go get you guys a refill, and then she said, no, honey, I got it, and then he just turned and had this expression on his face and said, I got it. That's a sign that he might be controlling at the least, and I have a feeling that he might be abusive, or he might have the potential to be abusive. Maybe he hasn't hit her, but that's just because he hasn't been pushed over the edge yet.
Yeah,
but I think that
they were walking away at the end, and he was trying to put his hand on her, and she was kind of like, nah, that's okay. You can keep that in your pocket.
Yeah, and I think that he's going to end up being pushed over the edge within the next 4 episodes, and Rick is going to be pushed to a point where he's going to have to get into the middle of it, and he's going to try to stop it. Nobody's going to die. I don't think Rick's going to flat out shoot him. I think what's going to happen is that he's going to punch Rick. Rick's going to do what he normally does by taking him in and probably making a makeshift jail cell, and they're going to put him in there, and he's going to stay there for a while.
Rick gonna beat that ass.
Probably won't. Yeah, Pete probably won't end up dying until after Alexandria ends up getting destroyed, and then he's probably going to be turned into a walker, and his wife is going to take a gun and put a bullet in between his eyes. Yeah.
You're overthinking that too much, and my speculation for next week will be that Daryl finally takes a shower.
He still needs to take a shower because it's still like shit. He does.
Maybe a little bit of a haircut.
Because you have at the dinner table, what smells like shit? Oh, it must be Daryl. Never mind.
All right, Isaiah, let's get this shit over with. I know you got some wild speculation.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, folks.
Shit.
All right, no. That's almost one of them. But I got 3 speculations going to be run down into one minute. Anyways, folks.
Wait, if you're going to be 3 speculations wind down in 1 minute, give me 2 seconds so I can get out of here and watch the Blacklist for our next discussion.
We'll probably have time to do it.
Anyways, folks.
Super quick. Let me just say, I think that when some joking's about threesomes and weirdness going on, there may be a potential that I just did. Isaiah, I might have just said his thing on accident, but there might be some potential for something because, as a difference in the comics, her husband was a creepy pervert. So perhaps they're all sharing because
sharing is caring.
Perhaps. All right, goodbye, everybody.
All right, Isaiah, go ahead now.
Okay, first off, I'm not going to say nothing about Pete because I kind of know his fate already, so I'm not going to say nothing. Anyways, folks, number 1, Father Gabriel, he's going to be a snitch. I'm sorry, he's going to be a real snitch about the whole group, like, oh, you can't trust Rick, or you can't trust that group. They be killing folks. They are monsters. And to the main group, like, to what's her face? I forgot her name.
To Diane?
Yeah, Diane, but Diane's not going to give a fuck, like, okay, nice to know you, thank you, bye-bye. But they're monsters. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, not done yet. Number two is we'll get more and more signs of more of the W's on the walkers, which is true. We're gonna see more signs of it, and it'll be more of the boogeymans themselves, who are pretty much doing all the heavy lifting for Alexandria, which is true in some ways. Because come on, they suck at killing walkers. And number 3,
at killing, period.
That's true too. And number 3, here comes the biggest factor of all. Of number 3, there's a reason why Donna said her son has to be on the top of the clock tower, right? Because he knows the system of Alexandria and pretty much the boogeyman of the whole situation. So if Sasha was up there too, she might put 2 and 2 together. So, you know, they got some secrets in keeping the boogeyman away from Rick's and group because that's gonna cause them massive problems because they want a problem with the war.
Much massive.
And we're done.
Much massive.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Moving on.
No, it's like there are only good points there. It's like we'll have to see what happens. Anyone else have any wild speculation you want to throw out there?
Oh yeah, and then Abraham is gonna nail Michonne, of course.
No,
With that Latina honey he's got.
Yeah, Duke Nukem has already got a thing going for Rosita. He ain't messing with that.
It's like layers of chips. You can't just have just one.
Oh yeah. Oh god. I can't
Damn,
I'm sorry.
too many threesomes.
We can end this now.
I'm sorry. It's like Rosita and Michonne are 2 women I really would not want mad at me for any reason.
Yeah.
Particularly Michonne.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like Duke Nukem would have to be
Drunk or stupid
to do that.
Right.
Hey, next week we see that Eugene is going to hold a gun.
Whoa,
I'm
Eugene.
holding a gun.
Who gives a fuck about Eugene? He's
And
useless
he's
piece of shit.
probably gonna shoot somebody in the foot.
I don't give a fuck. What, dude, I don't care about
All
you.
bullshit aside, I swear, I thought Aaron was about to chop off his fucking part of his leg when that walker had him, because he came really close.
Yeah,
I know. I thought that too.
He's looking for that
thought that
blowjob.
too. Yeah.
A little close.
Walker's like, I'll give you a blowjob for meat.
Before this gets into any more debauchery, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Guys, we have 3 episodes of The Walking Dead left in this season. By the end of March, all this will be over, and Geeks will be there with you every single step of the way at youtube.com/geeksaround. If you have anything for us, you can always email us at geeksaround@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 801-609-GOTR. Again, that is 801-609-4687. Also, it's like we implore you to join the Geeks of the Round community. You will find the link for that down in the description for this video, right underneath that like button. So until next time, my name is DeAno Jackson. This has been the Geeks of the Round discussion for The Walking Dead, and we will see you next week.